Good to see the bears actually out today. Good morning guys, and welcome to today's vlog. Today brings us back to central Bedfordshire, more precisely ZSL Whipsnade Zoo. It is our monthly vlog from here. We like to come round, see the updates. First thing you will notice this time round when you visit yourself is the infrastructure changes. They've redone the car park. It's now all weather purpose. The facilities have been refurbished, toilets, etc. And so far it's all looking good. As is normal, it's unpredictable with the animals. You do not know what you're going to get, but it should be fun. Come and join us. That there is either Hinge or Bracket, or probably a reincarnation of the two. Long-standing breeding pair of the wild boar here at ZSL Whipsnade. So this year it's been a bit later because the little boarlets are not so little. They usually look like tiny little humbugs running around, but this time they're probably at least I'd say double the size of normal. Then distinctive stripes will disappear and they'll start to look like mum and dad. Certainly still cool, but do not have that little cuteness effect that everybody loves. So for once we actually have all four bears out playing. See them little balls that you can see there, they'll be full of peanut butter, little treats. Make them work for their snacks. Bear slowly coming into view now. That is Cinderella. She's the oldest in the paddock. I had told the story before of the three bears, not the old fairy tale one, but what actually happened here really is a tragic story. It was Cinderella over there. She had two sisters with her originally, Snow White and Sleeping Beauty, and there was a storm a few years back, and unfortunately one of these larger trees fell across the pen which housed the wild boars, which obviously you've seen us film prior to this. Now obviously at the time the wild boars being territorial, they went out to attack the bears. The bears didn't really know what they were doing, they were very young. But with the proximity of the entrance gates, the cafe area and people, and just the sheer size of these animals, at one swipe of a paw would take your head off. They had little choice other than to shoot and kill the bears on sight. So now we're left with Cinderella and these three other young bears which have come in from Europe a couple of years ago. They had Topar for the winter season, which is like a mild term of hibernation. They don't truly go into a deep sleep, but it just encourages them to sleep a little bit. And they've grown together and really do get on. That's just play fighting. A little bit of food there. They won't be aggressive. Their characteristics are pretty much to make themselves look big. Sometimes you will see them play fighting. Their diet will predominantly consist of vegetables, fruit, peanut butter, honey, etc. They're throwing the occasional bit of fish. Very rarely that you'll see them chewing on meat.
One walking box. Look.
Yeah.
Look, go on the tree.
I certainly did not expect that to hold her weight. Sturdy old bit of kit though. We have a bear in a hammock.
People on there squeezing. Yeah, we saw a bear and I think he's going in the water.
That there is a honey badger, either Puff or Tiffy, aka a wolverine. So I think we've got Puff in the tree and Tiffy sitting there on the log. As small and cute as they look, and they are sort of closely related to a badger, they will take down a full-grown moose. A lion won't mess with them, and neither will large of your other apex predators, because they are vicious. We will not be hanging around this area here too long because it is bitterly cold. Right at the tip of the north end of the zoo. There are several species of penguin that are housed here. These are pretty much your well-known ones, your rock hoppers. These be Ricky and Rocky, the rock hopper penguins. I think they come here from ZSL London. And below us right down here, waddling along. deceptive. They say that these guys don't actually fly, but they do. They do their flying in water. They seriously shift. Certainly has a distinctive fishy smell around here. I bet that water is probably only about maybe 10 degrees above freezing. I certainly won't be taking a dip in it. It's like he's waddling along with the ump. Oh no, more tourists to go and see. This pond home to your Blackfoot. They're not doing a lot today, guys, to be honest with you. Temperature is getting better. We are at the end of spring, end of May. Summer will be here shortly. I believe it happens on a Thursday this year. There's a myth that all penguins live in amongst the snow. Very similar to your Blackfoot. These are Humboldt. They're sort of very distinctive, closely related breeds, Humboldt, Blackfoot. Is it again too as well? But the ones I've always been impressed with are in SeaWorld, Florida, which would be your Emperor and King penguins. They are huge. And the young chicks are really fluffy, and when you go behind the scenes encounter, they come up to you and get your body warmth. Come in close for a cuddle. A couple of the resident wild wallabies that just roam around the park. They are not fenced in at all. They can go wherever they please. I think originally they were housed in a compound, and then they broke out, and I think it was soon realised that they weren't going to go anywhere because there's food plentiful in here, they're safe. Occasionally they will venture out the outside perimeter area, so you do get stories of motorists coming face to face them as they come around the corner. But yeah, those, the little muntjac deer you get, and the Mara, which is pretty much the largest of the guinea pig breed, I believe. They all roam freely around here. The white rhino paddock with the new addition. If I focus in, I'll probably get a better view walking around, which I will do in a bit. At the back there, behind Mum, you see the little legs, is the new youngster, the little baby. Saying new, he's probably about coming up to maybe 6 weeks old now. Filmed him a couple of times in here, just snoozing, but now fully active, out grazing with the rest of them. There we go, just popping in the view. I said I'll probably get a better view going down by the side where the trees are there. It's lovely to see another generation. The zoo's majestic giraffes just slowly and elegantly walking around their paddock area. Hi there. You ever see its tongue? It's got a huge long blue tongue. There you go, just sticking it out as if on point for the camera. You know what you're doing, you guys are professionals, I'm just a pure amateur. by the meerkat enclosure, and the dinky little ones are now ventured outside in with the long grass. Focusing, you will see them better. Last time I see them all, they're in their little shelter at the back there. So now they've braved the wild and have ventured outside a bit more.
One more!
Never actually worked out whether they're cubs or kits.
They might be hiding in the long grass. Could be over on that side, could be in this corner here.
Oh, hello, Meerkat. What are those?
Those are the feet, and the bigger feet on them.
Okay, so we reached the calf and it decides as if it's maybe going to have a nap. Clever of mum to keep him or her away from the rest of the herd, because they are quite timid. And this little one is prone to getting up and bouncing around. Truly are magnificent creatures, and ZSL certainly does its bit with its breeding program. Idea is to release these back eventually. I think these are the southern white rhinos. The northern white rhinos, there's only 2 left in the world. I don't know whether they can interbreed, because I think they're both female, so perhaps get the male of the subspecies here and interact. But then I guess that's playing around with nature. Size wise, that'd be about the equivalent of a large 20+ stone dog at the moment. As they do, these are our lie downs, because they sleep a good 21 hours of the day. The male's the one closest to us, female over the distance there, and one just in the foreground. They are a breeding family, but they're still very young. We'll probably see cubs in maybe the next couple of years. Mum and baby now pretty close, not quite touching distance. It's a good maybe 20 metres. Our friends, the African wild dogs, patrolling their territory. They'll spend most of the day in and out of the forest area at the back, only coming into view when they need to feed or maybe catch some rays with the sun. Apart from that, if they're laying down, you will not see them. Maybe a flicker of an ear.
later then.
I always get mixed up with these characters. Are they drama llamas or are they alpacas? Not sure, I think they're llamas. One thing for sure, one of the breeds actually spits at you. So I'm hoping it's not you guys. You don't want to spit at me, do you? And these guys have a little friend down here. Has he got them devilish eyes? Yeah, it has. Something about goats. Are you the greatest of all time? Yeah, they give that sort of satanic outburst sort of thing. It's weird when they scream as well. Hi there. And you felt you was missing out on the action, didn't you? Yeah. It's alright, I'll pay you some attention as well, even if you are hissing. That of course is an emu. There are ostriches as well here, and they are huge. Don't you dare come and peck me. Yeah, very nice. I do not know the reason, but somehow there must be a purpose for it. All of the females and the young elephants are behind in the sandpit paddock. The large male bull was just in the left hand side, so I was expecting he was being introduced to another female, and usually the rest of the girls will be at the grassy paddock to our right hand side, unless they're doing something with it. It's just unusual. Not that it's a problem, they'll be out there soon. Unlike everybody else, I don't like seeing them sort of penned up in an enclosed space. But they seem quite content and quite happy. That of course there is baby Nang. Its mother Donna, who has been my all-time favourite elephant here. I've seen them here over the decades. I remember Donaldson and Lely and just a plethora of other ones. The male ones that usually move on because they reach a sexual maturity, then they become dangerous. But the only thing I could really probably say is that maybe because of the rain, and we've had some serious downpours in the last week, areas local to me got flooded. Maybe this area got flooded as well, and although they come across as being very robust characters, they are quite fragile to the environment. So a big, large, near on half a ton elephant slipping over could probably hurt itself, so they probably felt it's safer until it dries out just a little bit to keep them more on a firm sandy footing, rather than coming out here and ending up in some sort of problems. Like I said, this is the paddock area they've got, and there are 2 or 3 larger ones in the tree line that you can't see over the back there. They have access to all of those as well. This boggy pit area which comes from under the bridge there, makes its way out the back, home to the greater one-horned rhino, your black rhino, your Asian rhino. Very armour plated, again like its cousins the white rhino, very, very timid, ears flicking about. Heard a plane go over. You got just the lonesome one out there at the moment, but he has access to his friends. They're all in their own little paddock areas behind us, but they have a communal area. This bridge area up here gives you a real closer look at them. Dare say no my luck, they're all hiding away. No, they're all about. Pretty much all sleeping. So we get to the centre bit here. There we go. They can mix and mingle in the paddock area there at the back. They're not confined to these, they just choose to be here. You can see at some point been wallowing about in the muck, and that's like pretty much the same as ourselves putting suntan lotion on. As the weather starts to get hot, they will burn unless they've got an element of protection. Yak family there, a youngster running amok. Giving yourself a good scratch on that post over there. It's playful like a large dog, bouncing around. Scratching posts are obviously a thing if you live in the circle of yaks. I'm guessing these low pitched grunts are a call from mum for him to come back. It's certainly unusual for me to come up to this end. That's like the safari bit at the back there you can take your car through. They are, I think they're Preswaski, I think that's the pronunciation. The last of your wild horses. And there is a plethora of camels. And they've all got the hump.
The next one we have to go to safari.
Strange creatures. Actually believe there could be a youngster at the back there behind. Slightly different colour, slightly like a tan colour in the background. This is the closest we're going to get to Tsar today. He's got some work going on the far end of his enclosure, so he's kept safely out of the way. He's getting big. So I remember his brother Dimitri, fond memories of his dad, Botsman. Had the privilege of being the only guy up here at the time. It was heavily snowbound. I was the only one who could make it up, and they used my photos for the photo shoot. It's alright buddy, you'll get back out there soon. And just a little colour to the video before I start bringing it to a close. You certainly do not get more colourful than these guys, the flamingos. So bright, so vibrant. Even the youngsters are starting to get their plumage now. Duck's obviously in his way, so he's moved him on. Hi there. Of course, if I went further over to my left, I'll be at the cheetah enclosure, and then you've got the hippos, ostriches, etc. And then you make your way around the back of where the white rhinos are. But you simply can't see all the animals unless you're prepared to spend every single minute of the day here. I suppose we see probably about 50%. As I mentioned, pathways, the walkways, all been repurposed, refurbed, a lot smoother, a lot more comfortable, not more accessible for those, unfortunately, who have to come in a wheelchair. so you can have a day out as well. Hi guys, a couple of your grey zebra here, or zebra, depending on how you pronounce your Z's. Beautiful colour, very distinctive stripes. Back to these huge characters again. These are your boar, largest breed of cow, sort of a cross between a cow and an oxen, to be honest with you. That is not a mound of earth over there. Those are your Asian short claw otters. Snoozy time for them, I guess. My sister's absolute favourites. One stirring. Keeping an eye out. I believe there's 7 in total now. Thinking to himself, what's that noise? It's just a lawnmower, guys. It'll cause you no harm. You have to look really, really closely to see these guys hidden up there in the branches of the trees at the top. These are your red panda. Ironically, one of them is called Blue. Well, we found the youngster. Seems to be playing peekaboo and hiding in the long grass. That area in the field over there is now a large picnic area. If you wanted to come and bring something to eat or drink with you. Used to be the enclosure for the sea lions, which have gone up to the, I can't remember, is it South Yorkshire Wildlife Park, the place where the polar bears are. They all live there now. Salt, who else was it? Dominic. The family all moved up there. This had got a bit sort of too small, a bit too derelict. It was a listed building, but they still knocked it down because it was crumbling. This area to the side here, that's where they host events. I've been there, seen all sorts, from dinosaurs to Dennis the Menace shows, etc. in there. Bird of the Wild shows over there. Kiddies Adventure Playground beyond that. This area over here, well, a large house is, that is what used to be where the aquarium, the caiman, crocodiles, dwarf crocodiles that is, snakes, lizards, etc. were housed. Now they're kept to the side. Just as we come out of view here, there's like a little area where schools can meet up and have educational lessons. And that area there, the canopy, the sort of tent area, that is what they call the butterfly house. And one side of it is the aquarium, so you've got chameleons, lizards, snakes, frogs, etc. Jellyfish possibly. Come to the other side, it's full of moths and butterflies, your insects. There's a large spider in there, and of course you've got your dwarf crocodiles. Well, we'll leave that for another day. They're obviously setting up in there. I believe this year it's characters, it's CBBC or is it ITV? It's Bluey and Bingo. It wasn't this that took my eye, it's what's behind it. This is always here, or has been for a good couple of years. But this area here looks as if it's being revamped. Looks as if they're working on it. This is the old Victorian elephant house, which is again a listed building, so they can't knock it down. And there was rumours years and years ago that eventually they would turn this into possibly a museum, and perhaps the mural there is a start of that actually happening. Look at the agileness of these guys. Not a care in the world. Obviously, significance of looking at these now is the fact that tomorrow me and Rach are off to see that Planet of the Apes film. One of its many reincarnations, but it actually looks pretty good for a change. Just a day of chilling for these guys. Generally 9 times out of 10 they all come flooding past, do a little pirouette and carry on in the undergrowth. Wish I could do that. When I do my urbexing I really struggle to get over fences. Maybe this guy could teach me a thing or two. Mind you, he's probably not stupid enough to do half the things I do. These are of course Adventures of Paul's favourite characters. Wouldn't surprise me if one day he turns up in a suit like one. That's it, you have a lovely good scratch. Get off that winter coat and get into your summer one. These of course your bison. You know what, never going to do it, but I'd love to see a buffalo one day. I think they're all but extinct. The ones I want to see anyway, the ones on the prairies in America. Just a thing of myth and legend now. Anyway guys, thank you so much for joining us again. We love our time up here at the zoo. It was the bears that pretty much, as they usually do, stole the show. Really cool, quirky characters, just climbing around, hunting for little nibbles in the hammocks, etc. Some of the other animals are about. You can't see absolutely everything. Next time we try and mix it up, do something different, and we'll be back here again. Probably now I'd say towards the end of June. But thank you so much for watching. Next up for me, probably yet another urbex. I don't know, it's just something I'm enjoying doing. I really am at the moment. Some of these cool, creepy places. And then from there, I believe there's a Vets Motocross Championship back at Tollington I'll be doing. So with that guys, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you in the movies. Bye for now.